Hey guys, this is Akansha and welcome to Tech Masterni. In our previous session, I have covered the lithography process and the various steps involved in the photolithography process. In our today's session, we will going to understand the composition of photoresist, type of photoresist and the various pattern generation techniques. So let's start today's session. So the photoresist is made up of four materials. First one is a polymer. So the polymer is a solid polymer, which is a main part. The second part is a solvent. So it is a liquid in which our solid polymer will going to be dissolved, and then it will be spin coated. Then third part is a sanitizer. These are the chemicals which will decide the exposure time. Okay, and the next one is additives. So additives are the material which are added to reduce the reflections. So this is very important. This already came in the previous year paper, so take care of it. Now we will understand the type of photoresist. We have two types of photoresist. First one is a positive photoresist and then second is a negative photoresist. So in the previous class I have told you about the positive photoresist. So let's now recap it. In the positive photoresist, when the light is exposed, then the cross linkage break and thereby reducing molecular weight and hence soluble. Now let's see here. This is our photoresist. These are our mask. When the light falls, light cannot come here, light cannot come here. It will only reach to this particular area. When the light fall on photoresist, then the cross linkage breaks. It means bonds will break. Due to this breakage of bonds, molecular weight will decrease and this part will be soluble in the developer solution, and after the developer solution this part will be gone and we have our photoresist remain here and here. Now in this way we have opened our window in photoresist. Okay, so this is all about the positive photoresist which we have already covered. Now let's see some more points about photoresist. They are high resolution and it is made up of resin polymer and these are practically used. So they are high resolution. Let's see here, because if you want to open a window, there is an open window only in this particular area. Okay, this is why we call it as a high resolution. We will understand that the negative photoresist has a low resolution. Why it has a low resolution? Okay, now let's see here. Now this is new for us, negative photoresist. In the negative photoresist, cross linkage are formed by the UV exposure. Let's see here. So this is my mask, this is my photoresist, these are my mask. So the light cannot come here, light cannot come here, it will come here only. So when the light falls on the photoresist, cross linkage is formed. It means the bonds will be created. Due to the creation of bond, molecular weight will be increased. So this particular area becomes stronger enough. So when you will dip it into the developer solution, this part will not dissolve. This part will dissolve, this part will dissolve, but this part will not dissolve. So after the developer solution, you have photoresist only in this particular area and the remaining area photoresist will be gone. So this is negative photoresist because it happened just opposite of positive photoresist. It means where the light is fallen here, the photoresist will be stronger, and here when the light fall on the photoresist will become a weaker and it will be soluble in developer. So this is why it is a negative photoresist and this one is a positive photoresist. Now let's see the other points. It is made up of polyisoprene type of polymer, okay, and it has a low resolution, and now there is a problem of swelling and this is why it has a low resistance. Now let's see. So after the rays has fallen into this area created bond and the molecular weight has increased. when you dipped this into the developer solution, so the polymer will absorb the developer solution and it will swell. So in this way the size of polymer will increase because of swelling. So now the polymer is the resist will present in this much area. So what happened to the resolution now? So due to the increased size of the photoresist, now the opened window size has increased. Though we wanted a small size of window, but due to the photoresist, our size of the window has changed. So this is not a desirable condition. So that is why it has low resolution. Okay. So this is all about the type of photoresist. Now let's see the techniques of pattern generation. We have three techniques. First one is the contact printing, then proximity printing, and then projection printing. So let's start our discussion with the contact printing. Why it is called as contact? So in this type of printing generation, pattern generation, the mask is in the contact with the resist. Let's see here. This is our substrate over which we have our SiO2 layer, over which I have my resist layer. So instead of placing mask here, we have placed our mask on the above of photoresist. So this is why we call it as a contact printing. So in the contact printing, there is a high resolution. Why? Because the mask is in contact with the resist. So when the mask is not in contact, let's see here, when the mask is not in contact, the rays will spread out. So due to the spreading of these rays, there will be less resolution. So instead of opening this much amount of window, now we have opened this much amount of window. So in this way the photoresist resolution will be less. So if you will place our mask above the resist itself, there is no spreading of light. So light cannot spread. So this is why there is a high resolution. The second point is a low durability of the mask. Because the mask is in the contact with the resist may react with the mask and it will create impurity in the mask. So after 2 to 3 uses of the mask will be highly impure and you cannot use it further. That is why the mask durability will be low in this type of pattern generation. So this is all about the contact printing. Now let's see. The second type of printing is proximity printing. So let's see here. Due to the mask placed in the contact with the photoresist in our contact printing, we have low durability of mask. So what we need to do? We need to separate out mask from the photoresist. So in this type of printing, I have placed my mask here far above than the photoresist. So the durability of the mask will be higher enough. Okay. So now what happened when the source is there, source will provide rays, and after the lens, rays will be fallen into the photoresist. So due to the mask, rays cannot fall here, it will fall only this much area. But due to the spreading of the rays, there is a low resolution. Okay. So this is all about proximity printing. Here the most important term is a minimum dimension that can be transferred. So the minimum amount of the dimension that can be transferred is given by root over lambda g. So the lambda is a wavelength of the ray and g is the gap. So if you will increase gap, you will increase the minimum dimension size, and we always want a dimension size should be smaller enough. So this is why it has low resolution problem. This formula is very important for prelims point of view. It has already came into several times. So take care of it. The next and the last printing technique is a projection printing technique. So in this type of printing technique, we have come up with the intermediate solution. So in this technique, So in the proximity printing, we have a problem of a spreading of light, and in the contact printing we have a problem of a low mask durability because mask is present above the photoresist. So now let's see what happened here. So in this type of printing, instead of one lens we will use two lenses for focusing in. Okay, so let's see here. This is my first lens which will provide me rays in the straight direction, and this is my mask. Then mask is far above than the resist, so the mask durability will be higher enough. And after this lens, the light will be sprayed. Okay, but now I have placed one more projection lens. So this projection lens will be straight enough my lights. So the lights which will going to fall on the photoresist will be straight. So there will be no spreading of light and there will be high resolution. Okay. So this is all about the projection printing. So the minimum dimension that can be transferred has a formula of this, which is K1 lambda upon Na. Na is a numerical aperture. To get a minimum value of X, we need to increase numerical aperture as high as possible, or also we can decrease the lambda value or the wavelength value so that we can get the smaller value of X. On the other hand, we have the depth of focus of lens. So the depth of focus should be high enough. Let's see the formula of depth of focus, which is K lambda upon Na square. Okay, so the depth of focus will be increased if the Na value will decrease. Okay, the numerical aperture should be small enough. But if you will decrease the numerical aperture, then the X value will increase and our resolution will be compromised. Okay, so if you want to increase the resolution, you have to compromise the depth of focus, or if you want to maintain your depth of focus, you have to compromise your resolution. So this is the problem in projection printing. So I have covered all the points of projection printing, and these are the pattern generation techniques. All these problems, all these formulas are very important. They can directly give you marks in your exam. These are important for prelims point of view and also for the mains point of view. Do not skip any formula. Make a note of every formula in one particular place and revise it. Okay. So this is all about today's session. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned to the channel. Thank you so much.